Hi, I'm Dr. Caroline Redpath, a board-certified behavior analyst with the River Street Outreach Program. We would all like to see good behavior from our children. Positive reinforcement is an effective tool for promoting the behavior that you want to see. I want to give you some tips for using reinforcement to create a positive, nurturing home environment to help your child develop good behavior. We all like to be recognized when we do a good job, and our children are no exception. Positive reinforcement, or giving attention to the behaviors that you want to see, is a powerful tool for promoting more good behavior. Positive reinforcement gives the child information that what they're doing is something they should keep doing. By calling attention to the behavior will happen more often in the future. Any behavior that we do is strengthened by the consequences. By consequences, I mean what happens right after we do the behavior. For example, if I were to bake cookies and everyone thanked me and raved about them, I'm very likely to make more cookies in the future. My behavior of making cookies got positive reinforcement. If, however, no one commented on the cookies or ate them, I'm not likely to keep making cookies. My behavior did not receive any positive reinforcement. Children will work to get attention from their parents. If they can't get it behaving appropriately, they will get it by behaving inappropriately. Any attention is better than no attention. Because positive reinforcement gives information which tells what we do want, it is our most powerful tool for promoting behavior. You've heard the saying that you attract more flies with honey than with vinegar. That applies to behavior as well. You will get more good behavior when you follow it with attention and appreciation than you will get with correcting bad behavior. The environment plays a big role in determining our behavior. Just like a flower growing depends upon the soil it's planted in, our environment affects our behavior. If the flower doesn't bloom, we fix the environment so the conditions are right for it to bloom. We can do the same for our children. We can create an environment that promotes the behavior that we want to see. If you want a child to focus, set them up for success by creating a quiet place for them to attend. If you want the child to pick up their toys, make sure that you have adequate space for them to put their toys away. If you want them to have a positive, nurturing environment, create that by increasing the number of times that you find the child behaving well. If that's difficult, practice giving the child attention every time they're not misbehaving, even if they're not doing anything at the moment. Just by increasing the number of positive interactions, you will set up their expectation to get more of your attention in positive ways. To start this out, try to have 20 positive interactions in an hour with your child. You can give a thumbs up, pass them by and touch them on the shoulder, nod, use praise, etc. By creating a positive environment, they don't have to seek out negative attention by misbehaving. Here are some other tips for improving behavior at home through positive interactions with your children. Clearly communicate what behavior you want to see. We assume that children know what we want them to do. We often spend more time telling them what not to do rather than telling them what we want to see. For example, for a child that's climbing on furniture, we say, "Don't climb on the couch." It doesn't give the child any information as to what they should be doing. Telling them instead, "I want to see your feet on the floor," or "I want to see your bottom on the chair and your feet on the floor," tells them exactly what you want. The minute you see them comply, thank them and say something like, "That's what I'm talking about. I like seeing feet on the floor." Now the child knows what is going to get your attention. If the child climbs again, give it the least amount of attention, guide them down, and say, "Now your feet are on the floor." Always give more attention to what you want than to what you don't want. Sometimes children will go to all lengths to get our attention. This is especially true when they're bored and aren't getting attention in other ways. When you keep the environment rich with attention and stimulation, there's less time for attention-seeking behavior. Children will engage in behaviors that are really inconsequential. They're not dangerous, but they are annoying to adults. The goal of these behaviors is purely to get attention. Examples are whining, making rude noises, saying bad words, repeating silly jokes, jingles, etc. The more attention you give to these things, the more often they will do them. By completely ignoring these behaviors, it becomes ineffective in getting your attention. Try to find the first appropriate other behavior that they do and give the attention to that. Make it a point to watch for your child doing what they are supposed to be doing. Be quick to catch them being good. Calling out the good behavior when it is happening is the best way to inform the child to do it again. Even better, let the child hear you tell someone else about their good behavior. This gives secondary attention. Stay close to your child physically and verbally. During this pandemic, we're all feeling a little too close, but it is important to stay on top of what your child is doing so that you can catch the good and reroute a child who is off track. Often misbehavior is a sign that your child needs help with a task. Be close by to check in before the child abandons the task. Praise small steps that they may have done and coach them through the rest. You're going to want to discover your child's love language. When you praise your child, do they like it to be over the top or quiet and private? What kinds of toys do they like? Do they like doing activities with you? Rather than getting something, are they more motivated to get out of something that they don't want to do? For example, I'll do the dishes tonight because you worked so hard earlier in the day. Do they just like physical activity like jumping, spinning, or is a food treat their favorite way of being acknowledged? By pinning down how your child would most feel appreciated, you have another powerful tool in helping you promote good behavior. But how do you know? You can ask them after giving some examples. You can watch them and see what they gravitate towards, when they have the biggest smile on their faces, what they most look forward to. You can even test it out by presenting different items and having them pick or watching how they approach the items. Many children like praise. Here are some tips on using praise. Make sure that you praise the behavior and not the child. Be specific. I like the way you used kind words with your brother is more specific than good girl. Remember that reinforcement is information. Make sure that you praise progress. By reinforcing small steps for what you want, the child understands and continues trying to make progress. Make sure that you're sincere in your praise and not sarcastic. Try to use praise immediately and every time they exhibit the behavior that you want in the beginning. Don't worry about overdoing it. You will want to use positive reinforcement anytime you can. This includes teaching new skills or alternative behaviors. We always want to teach a child what we want them to be doing, not just get rid of misbehavior. Transitions from one activity to another are another important time to use reinforcement. Initially, you are going to want to reinforce every time your child shows the behavior that you want to see. Over time, you can fade this back. Don't allow free access to items used as reinforcers during other times of the day. We all like novelty. Make sure that you're varying what's available frequently so that it stays interesting. Whenever possible, give your child choices and let them tell you, if they can, what they're interested in working for. Remember that we all work for reinforcement. Reinforcement is not happening if the behavior that you want isn't increasing. Keep working to find what reinforcers are most meaningful to your child and apply them frequently. Catch your child being good. Tell them what you want. Don't keep it a secret. Help them get as many positives as they can. We all enjoy attention from others, praise, thank yous. We look forward to our paychecks, special shows, and treats. Our children are working hard. Reinforcement is a powerful tool that you can use in your home to communicate with your child about the behavior that you want to see.